Namaste, my llama-loving, mindful bitches. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. My name is Samantha, and you are here at Brash and Sassy, Mindfulness and Healing with Samantha. I'm Samantha. All right, kids. Before I jump in today's video, which is going to be about cleansing your surroundings and yourself from negative energies and bullshit, I do want to say real quick that I'm diving back in to my channel, hopefully regularly, and that I'm hoping I can get my schedule squared away to continue regularly. I've also been posting on my blog a little bit more. I'm going to be uploading a new one here shortly. All of those are down below, and I am getting ready to start selling products of essential oil based cleansing sprays. Cleansing sprays, protection cleansings, love sprays, money spray. There's an anti-aging spray, skin issues, acne, eczema, stuff like that. A bug spray, a foot spray, all with all holistic ingredients, and then crystal charms for the same types of things: protection, love, money, attraction of different things. They're going to be hanging. They're going to be on cords, little vials on cords with little crystal chips and herbs. I'm going to be using herbs as well, and I will have those up hopefully shortly after the first of the year. I'm trying to get everything squared away and get everything that I need to at least try and see where it goes for this little side hustle that I'm working on. Depending on where that does go will depend on how much I continue and branch out. Maybe I'll branch out in different sizes of the sprays or sizes of the charms or different types of things. I have a couple other ideas too, as I'm also learning some new stuff, or getting trained on things, getting back to all that stuff. So life has been treating me pretty well. So I have been in that type of bliss. I'm trying to get back on this roller coaster here, or not roller coaster, on this wagon here, and put out more content and put out more or start marketing some stuff. So I will start here as we get into the video. As always, here I'll say in the beginning here, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. All of my social media is down below. For the oils and the charms and whatnot, I am in the process of working on a Facebook store type page off of my personal Facebook page, which I haven't promoted it yet or anything. I've just started working on it yesterday. So as I get things made, I gotta figure out, last main thing I need to do really is make my labels for the bottles. So once I get that, I'll get my page up and running and get some products shown on there, and then we'll go from there. I'm excited, and I hope everybody else will be too. So like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And again, the store is also under the Brash and Sassy Mindfulness and Healing name. So let's dive into today's video, and I want to kind of discuss cleansing. So I know my page here is on pretty much all things holistic and all things spiritual, and witchy and healing, both emotionally, mentally, and physically. And I haven't talked about the healing stuff, the physical aspect, in a while, and I will. Fear not. That might be my next video after this one. So we are going to get back into that. I don't have a lot of good news for that, but we are going to get back into that. All right. So cleansings. We're going to talk about cleansing in a couple of different ways. So there is cleansing your space, your home, it can be your office, your car, any type of rooms, whatever, you know, anything like that. And as well as cleansing your personal body, yourself, your energy, your aura, however you want to define that. And there are a variety of ways that you can do all of this. I wanted to also, I have my little newfound llama mascot here, my little cotton candy guy. I don't know if, on the one hand, you know, I just, this was from a claw machine that my lovely BF won for me. Don't we love him? I saw it and I was like, oh my goodness, it's a little purple or blue and pink llama. And then as I started looking at it in my last video, I introduced, I decided to call him Cotton Candy. Little llama. I don't know if llama wants to be a male or a female. But in that aspect, I do love that the llama is blue and pink, because those are the transgender colors, and it's not particularly the correct shades. The light blue is, the pink's kind of a weird pink, but maybe it can fit. But then it's got like the dark blue, almost like an indigo or like something in it too. So it is what it is. My genderless llama. I love it. I love them. My little genderless llama. I love them. I have a non-binary llama. What do you want? I love them. And I think you should too, because llamas are the shit. They are cute. They are docile. They are just like a big old puppy. But if they don't want to be by you, and if you piss them off, they spit on you. And I love that about them, because that's really freaking badass. Llamas. Okay. So cleansings. How to cleanse yourself and your llama 101. So as far as your personal, or as far as your spaces go, there's a many variety of ways to do this. The most common probably is going to be with white sage, sage smudge sticks. There are a lot of controversy over white sage sticks. I have seen different reasons for the controversy, and I respect all of the opinions on that. So basically white sage is native of the natives, native of Native Americans, and it's a huge herb that they use, and it is, I believe it is endangered. I believe the plants are endangered. Another thing to use for cleansings is Palo Santo wood, which is a South American wood, which is also endangered. It is an endangered plant. So there are some controversies over using them, but they are huge in the holistic and witch communities. Some people call it appropriation. I don't necessarily agree with that. My take on we're not even going to get political about this, but so my take on sage, I use sage sticks to smoke my apartment. I've also seen that a big issue with sage in the controversy is not so much the use of the product, but of saying that you are smudging, because smudging is a very, very specific Native American ritual. That is more in depth than what holistic and witchy people do when they walk some sage around their parameters and recite something or chant something or just, whatever. It's more specific ritual that Native Americans use. So I don't say that I am so much smudging. I will say that I am saging my house or my apartment or whatever. You can go to any which holistic, new age, whatever you want to call it, apothecary store, botanical place and find sage sticks. Sometimes they're just sage. Sometimes they're sage mixed with something. A lot of common things is sage and cedarwood and lavender. Sometimes I have a sage and rose stick. Kind of depends on what specifically you want, I guess, or if you don't want to use sage for those personal reasons, which is perfectly fine. More power to you. Lavender and cedarwood are really good substitutes for that, as is rosemary. You can find rosemary sticks at all those places as well. You can make your own. If you grow your own herbs, you can dry them and make them yourself. I know people online who make their own, who grow and make their own sage sticks. You can buy just rosemary and cedarwood. There's a lot of combination ones are popular. If it's not sage, you can get sage and whatever, but like rosemary and cedarwood, I feel like is a popular combination stick. Along, maybe throw in some lavender. Basically white sage is a huge herb that is said to, be very protective and to ward off negative energies and entities, spirits, whatever. If you have some wonky shit going on in your house, might seem like you have ghosts for, I do believe in ghosts, however you want to put it, some kind of a spiritual thing going on, shit just went wonky, you might want to sage. But again, you can also do rosemary, lavender, cedarwood. Those are big spells for warding off stuff like that too. If for some reason you can't burn, a lot of people in apartments don't like to, because I live in an apartment. When I first moved in, I had some shit going on and I wasn't sure what was going on, but I had some uber electrical shit. My freaking landlord, or my leasing lady, was telling me she thought she was seeing orbs and shit when she was taking pictures of what my lights were doing, or taking videos of what my lights were doing. Look, there's this orb. It wasn't here, but it's in this video, but it wasn't like there in real life. But I deep saged my apartment, hardcore, and leasing lady comes knocking on my door. She knew I was doing it. She comes knocking on my door like an hour later saying tenants in the building were bitching about me. I lived here maybe 3 months, maybe, 4 months. If that. People were bitching about me, about the smell, thought something was burning. And I was like, okay, it's fucking sage. Sage has a weird smell. Totally get it. The dude diagonal across the hall from me, the entire hallway, 24/7 almost, reeks of pot because of that apartment. But you're going to bitch about my sage. Okay. Well, if you don't want to come by me because I'm burning sage, then guess what? My sage is doing its job. Thank you, sage. Okay. So, if you can't burn or don't want to burn, or maybe you're younger and you live with your parents, or you live with somebody, they don't want you to burn shit. Cool. Make a sage spray. Like I said at the beginning of this video, am starting to move on the way to marketing some homemade sprays. One of which is a sage spray. Sage and Palo Santo, to be specific, using sage oil and Palo Santo oil. There's other stuff in it, but you don't need to know about that unless you buy some, because it'll be on the label. But so you can do sage sprays. I've made sage sprays for my friends for like the last 2 years, and myself. I keep sage spray here. I keep a bottle of sage spray in my office at work. I've given it to my friends to keep in their cars, to spray in their house. You can spray yourself. You can spray my ex My ex was, before he was like my official anything, I wasn't looking for anything committed, so this wasn't like, oh, he's gross or you're gross. I don't care about your opinions. He was halfway seeing his ex too. But when she would bother him and he would come see me, I would spray the fuck out of him in his car with my sage spray. Because I don't need her batshit crazy all up in my shit. Okay. Sage smoke, or, smudge sticks, smoke sticks, cleansing sticks, cleansing herb sticks, and sprays. Lavender is really powerful for protection and warding off shit too, as well as it's calming. Yay, lavender. So there is salt. Salt's big. I have salt all over my damn apartment. You can use table salt if you need to. I prefer, and everybody else prefers, sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. The biggest things to do with salt, you can put salt in little containers at your doorway, or at like every entrance. So I have a little thing of salt with a black onyx stone in it, a black onyx tumble stone in it, at the corner of my door and at the corner of my door into my apartment, at the corner of my patio door, and at the corner of both of my windows, the two windows I have. So I have it at all the entrances of my apartment. And you're going to want to switch that shit out. I haven't switched mine in a while. I'm due for that. Because it's going to get old and just kind of like fall together and lose some of its oomph, maybe, just depends on how you feel about it. I need to change mine. White sea salt is my preferred thing there, but you can use table salt, pick Himalayan salt. For salts, you can also put salt in your like floor cleaners. A big thing to do, it's popular in the witch community, sprinkle salt on your floor, take a broom, sweep it up and sweep it out of the house. If you can't sweep it directly out of the house, broom and dustpan it, whatever. Said as it's on the floor, and as you're sweeping it up, you're sweeping the negative with it. You can also put it in liquid floor cleaners, mop, salt cleansing baths. Every fucking buddy does it when they're not intending to do so much that. Bath salts. All the bath salts. Pink Himalayan bath salt and lavender bath salts is my jam. And if I'm out of those, I throw some sea salt into my bath. They have all the salt scrubs. I will do like salt scrubs. I don't feel like taking a bath on like a moon, full moon or new moon, and I want to do a cleansing bath. I will just use my salt scrubs in the shower if I don't feel like or have time to take a bath. So, if you're witchy and follow the moon phases like I do, you're probably going to want to do that stuff on on the full moon and the new moon, especially. I like to. Most witches do. That's us. But anyway, so salt. Big on salt. Water in general itself is also cleansing. Stand in the fucking shower and just visualize the water running off any negativity that you might have endured during the day. Some people might feel gross. I need to take a shower. This is really, really dark, but okay, we're going to think of it in media. You're watching an episode of SVU. Somebody gets raped. What's 9.9 times out of 10 the first thing they do? They take a shower. Unfortunately, they take that shower before they do the rape kit, so that sucks. But they take a shower. Cleansing the ew. Not just the physical ew of if they have blood or other liquids on them. The spiritual, the aura, the mental, just that energetic yuck. from that person. You got in a fight with somebody. Sage it. Cleanse it. Salt it. Whatever. Bells. Bells are big. Bells clear stagnant energies. Bells cleanse the room of fucked up energies and stagnant energies. You can, I have a handheld bell. Whatever. I just got this giant fucking bell for Christmas with the Browns logo on it. I was like, ooh. Spirits of the Steelers, get out of my apartment. That's the silly side of it. Wind chimes. So you can ring a bell in a room. I keep that bell, not the Browns bell. I just got it. It's just sitting somewhere. But I keep my bell that I've had for a long time in my Zen room. I will ring it 9 times out of 10 before I do any type of ritualistic things. I have little tiny ones. I bought some a double thing. Bells kind of look like something else. Sorry about that, but it kind of does. 2 silver bells on a little ribbon and from Christmas ornaments. I hung it on my doorknob. I've also got wind chimes at at all 3 of my windows, my patio door and both the window of my Zen room and the window in my bedroom. Bells everywhere. All the bells. I have a bell on the door to the Zen room too. Bells release the negative and stagnant energies. Bells are very popular for witches. Witches' bells. Probably heard of them. Crystals, obviously, like I said earlier, I have black onyx stones in my little salt containers next to all my entrances to my apartment. Any black stones are the shit for protection. Black tourmaline, black obsidian, black onyx, black agate, and shungite are excellent energy and negative banishing crystals. I have got a black tourmaline rock as well as its BFF selenite, which is a white, like cloudy white-ish, whatever. I have them next to my door into my apartment. And then, of course, like I said, I have the black onyx in the salt on the corner of it. Like, if any shit wants to get in my apartment, they gotta go through a lot. I have crystals all the fuck over my apartment. I have salt everywhere. I have bells everywhere. I just got shit everywhere. Like, stay the fuck away. And I'm really good at protection stuff. That's my niche. Still working on all the other shit. But I'm a protection witch. I'm a protection, banishing, and binding. Those are my things. Let's see, other crystals. Clear quartz, smoky quartz, I almost said lavender, amethyst. Those are all really good for protection, and shooting away negative energies. I feel like I missed something. Hematite is good for grounding. Hematite is good for grounding. It's kind of really good used with some of that shit. It's good for it's good for grounding. I like hematite paired with like my obsidians and whatnot and any quartz. Black tourmaline is good because it's fun because it what's the word that I want? I can't think of the word that I want. Having another brain fart. It turns the negative shit into positive shit. So it doesn't just like hold on to it. It turns it into good, turns it into positive. Fire agate also does that. I think citrine does it. No, I lied. Citrine does something else. We'll get to that later. But I have crystals all over me. I have crystals fucking everywhere. Most crystals have a property of some semblance of protection. Those are probably like my top picks for, the cat made noise and it freaked me out as I'm sitting here talking about protection from negative energies and spirits. Those are my top picks for, like protection and cleansing, cleansing energies. Yeah. So, oils and herbs. So back to sage. This kind of goes back to saging. Because I talked about the sprays and obviously the sage sticks. Incense also is included in that. You can burn incense. It doesn't have to be like a smudge stick. You can burn incenses. I like to burn basil for protection. I use basil when I'm focused on protection of other people so much, not myself, but basil is a good protection herb. Rosemary, of course, and sage. I have white sage incense all over the place, and Palo Santo. Dragon's blood is another good one. I forgot about dragon's blood. That's another good one. I have dragon's blood oil, dragon's blood resin, dragon's blood incense, and I have a dragon's blood smudge stick. So dragon's blood is boss. Lavender. Lavender is good for protection. We talked about the lavender and the smudge sticks. Same, said for lavender oils and sprays, and incense, whatnot. So all that kind of all just goes into one. Vinegar, if you want to, vinegar is good for cleansing and removing bullshit too. I clean with vinegar. Many people clean with vinegar because it's not as potent as bleach. It's not as harsh as bleach and ammonia. I like to clean with vinegar too, because then when I dump it out, I usually dump my cleaning shit, like my mopping, I usually dump it outside and it's not quite as harsh. But if I add a bunch of shit to it too, like the oils and stuff, and salt, I try and make sure I at the very least dump it on concrete, because I also don't want to pour it down my drain, because normally there's gunk in it by then, because I have animals and gunk, hair balls and shit that I don't want to pour down my drain. But I have a concrete spot that's all concrete. There's no grass. It's like it goes down into like a whole thing, like right outside my balcony. So I pour it there. It's the closest thing, Speaking of going outside, air is also good too. And bonus, if you got wind chimes or bells by your windows or whatnot and let the air in, then they'll also ring the bells, and then you got some double time going on, especially then too. If you got salt at the entrance, then you got the triples, and you're just fantastic. Put some crystals up in that shit and If you're going to put crystals in your salt little things, like I have the black onyx in mine, it's a tumble stone. I would put tumble stones in your salt. If you put rough stones, you're going to want to pay attention to and look up what stones are good for salt and or water. Because some people put bowls of salt water with certain stones in them by their doorways. You can do that too. That's another thing, right by your entrances of your house. I have my black tourmaline and selenite there. In the little BFF combo, I have black tourmaline and selenite everywhere as well. Tourmalated quartz is another good one. It's black tourmaline in clear quartz. I like that stone. So I know I missed something. Vinegar, air, crystals. Oh, visualizing. Another way to kind of clear your energies and cleanse yourself and protect yourself is kind of a visualizing and cord cutting type of situations. What I like to do, which I got, from guided meditations and witch shit over the last few years. It doesn't have to be like a meditation. Doesn't have to be long, but and the more you do it, it doesn't need to be any more than just thinking about it. because it's natural to you, which is, you can sit there and it can be as long as you want or whatever. But just have like this visualization of being surrounded by like a protected white or gold light. The color of it really doesn't matter. Those are the most common ones. I have a very vivid imagination, but it's not always in color. So I just like the white lights. And sometimes I'm good with gold, but I usually use gold for certain other things if I'm visualizing stuff. But I like white for this. It kind of ties in a little bit with like Reiki and energy healing, which is the other thing that I was going to talk about after this. You can do it very various ways. My preferred method is to just kind of like sit, relax yourself, a couple deep, good deep breaths in and out. I like to kind of envision this white light, like this stream of white light coming down like through the crown of my head, and kind of like going through my entire body, and I, depending on how deep I want to go in this, if like I was doing this today when I left work because I felt like I needed it, I needed more of a deeper thing of it than just like kind of be like, okay, where's my bubble? It's kind of the same concept as when people, when you like jokingly stay out of my bubble, or, it's like this whole like fucking 6 feet thing. This is my bubble. This is your bubble. Over there. Like, stay out of my bubble. Legit, stay the fuck out of my bubble. So you got your white light like streaming in, and I'll like envision it going through like down my head, into my shoulders, throughout my hands, down my torso, and just all throughout me, down to my feet, out through my hands. And then I kind of just like, when it gets to my feet, depending on how I'm sitting, I'll either, if like my feet are on the ground, I'll have it like, so like the top of the like stream that I envision, it just kind of like starts to make the circle, it just makes the bubble, and then it goes down to my feet, and then it just kind of like, so I'll like, it'll go this way, and then like that'll go this way, and then I'll just be like this huge big white glowing bubble, to where I'm like, ain't no bitches getting in my bubble. I might let you in my bubble, but I'm not letting your shit in my bubble. Get out of my bubble. My bubbles. My bubbles. My bubble, my energy, back the fuck off. Like I said, I've been dealing with some shit, so. And then another thing is you can get a Reiki session. I am attempting to, do or do not, there is no try. May the force be with me. I am learning Reiki. So and I've gotten energy healings. Doesn't have to just be Reiki. There's various different types of energy healings. Tai Chi, throw that in. I know a guy that I freaking adore from the internet, Facebook and YouTube. Not YouTube, just Facebook. I lied. Just Facebook. Found him in a tarot group, met him in a tarot group. Now I buy crystals from him and shit. Met him in a tarot group because I was scrolling through like a year and a half ago, trying to not, off myself. And this dude's like doing all this shit to music. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Favorite human in the world. And he's doing energy healings. I love him. Palo Santo. Look him up. Hearts. Paulus. Okay. So yeah, Reiki, and there's distance Reiki, there's pet Reiki. You can learn, you can do Reiki on yourself, have Reiki session done to you, have any other energy healings done to you. I was attempting to learn another form of energy healing a couple years ago. Started on Reiki shortly after that, but broke off of both in my, suicidal fit and have not super started to get back into it. Kind of left the geoenergy trainings that I was doing, and then starting to work back into the Reiki. So it wasn't Reiki, but I had an integrative energy healing something or other at this yoga studio by where I work. That was freaking phenomenal. I had that over the summer. It was like 45 minutes, an hour, something like that. It was freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Loved it. So that is another thing to cleanse your shit. It's kind of the same concept from the ways I've been learning it, with like envisioning the white lights and stuff, but Reiki, goes in energy healing, it deals a lot with the chakras and, especially Reiki, specifically, like a lot with the chakras and whatnot, and the different colors and things. So there's all that. So, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. So, that is your energy healing, cleansing 101 and protecting your shit. Make your bubble and protect your shit. The best thing I ever started doing was giving myself a bubble. So your shit stays out there and mine stays in here, and I just don't have a fucking care in the world. But it's starting to get negative, and like I said, I was like refocusing on my protection bubbles. I've sat and done protection bubbles and like healing type things, or protection and cleansing bubbles. I don't even want to call them bubble, but cleansing things like distantly on other people, whether they know it or not. I like to do protection spells on people when they don't know it. Yes. Only because some people may be like, oh, negativity matters. So we're just not going to bring your negativity into play. But now I think I can like outweigh their negativity anyway. Back then I couldn't. When I first started doing this, I don't think I could. So I just did it. But now I think my positives weigh your negatives. So anyway, that is energy cleansing and cleansing your space 101. Also, real quick with the crystals, if you are like, same thing kind of with the salt, with the refreshing your salt, or if you do salt water, refreshing that. The crystals, you're going to want to cleanse your crystals too. I mentioned that black tourmaline kind of transposes negative energy into positive. Not a lot of crystals do that. You're going to want to do something to cleanse your crystals, because they're going to start holding all of that negative shit, and they're not going to do their job anymore. So to cleanse your crystals is the exact same way that you cleanse yourself. Run them through some smoke from a smudge stick or incense. If they are water and or salt friendly, you can run them under water, put them in a bowl of salt or in a bowl of salt water. Again, if they are rough stones, I would just stay away from that, because a lot of stones will, maybe not completely, but start to dissolve in water. Selenite is one of those, and I learned that the hard way. So do not put selenite in salt or water, especially water. Selenite though doesn't fucking matter, because selenite doesn't need charge. Selenite charges itself. It is a self-cleansing and self-charging stone. Self-cleansing stone, rather. I guess I shouldn't say charging, but it's a self-cleansing stone. It does not need cleansed. By all means, run it through smudge, or don't like to say smudge. Run it through smoke. If you like, I still do sometimes. They make selenite bowls and plates for the purpose of putting other crystals on them, because selenite cleanses other crystals. So I have a little selenite plate that I sit a black tourmaline, an amethyst, and a citrine on right across from my door. Not to be confused with the stand that's right next to my door that has a selenite tower and a black tourmaline chunk sitting next to it. So, like I said, selenite and black tourmaline are all over my fucking apartment. And quite frankly, so are amethyst and citrine. Citrine more than amethyst. But yeah, so I mean, really, like if you want to run them through water or salt, do research first. Tumble stones, I don't believe tumble stones are affected. I have never had issues with tumble stones in salt or water. But the rough stones, yes, I've had issues with them before I learned all of that, especially selenite dissolving a little bit in both salt and water. I gave a selenite, little like 3 or 4 inch selenite stick to my ex-boyfriend, and he always kept it in his pocket. He's into all this too, so it wasn't like anything new for him. He always kept it in his pocket, but the problem with that was he always forgot to take it out of his pocket when he washed clothes, and it got washed a few times. So it went from a, stone that was like 3/4 of an inch thick to like maybe 1/4 of an inch, maybe. I think to a point where it wasn't even like it wasn't even like squared anymore. It was more rounded. It was bad. I was like, stop washing the selenite! God damn it. But now I have those little tiny 4-inch selenite sticks coming out my ears because I buy them all the time. So yeah, put your crystals on selenite, put your crystals through smoke. That's just the easiest way. Smoke is the safest way, or selenite. Just so you don't lose anything. But like tumble stones, again, I've never had an issue with tumble stones. I don't know what the popular belief on that is. But I have tumbled black onyx, and I cannot tell you if rough black onyx has an issue with salt or water. That stone specifically, I am not sure. But I have big old tumble black onyx stones sitting in my salt bowls at all my entrances. So black stones are my favorites, and I love salt. So yeah. I do them all. I have it all. I am protected and I am cleansed, damn it. And I want you to be too. So do something to cleanse. You don't have to do them all. I move my thing the other way, and my thing is this way. Don't have to do them all. So with that, we are going to leave you. That was Cleansing 101. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead and type down below. As always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And me and my little non-binary cotton candy llama will see you in the next video. Namaste, bitches. Bye.
I am Brash. I am Sassy.